Okay, so welcome to our year 2 planning session. I'm really happy to see many of you. It will be boring, not boring, maybe it will be less interesting to some of you because you also participated in our online sessions about year 2 planning and you gave us some feedback and some of you wrote to us about it. But today it's like in person and we are hoping to get more feedback from you. And the concept of today's session is that we will go briefly through work packages that we are suggesting in the year 2 grant. So Tony and I will just briefly explain what each of these work packages contain, and then we will form small groups, working groups, and you will be able to rotate, go from table to table. You will see signs with names of each group, and you can there provide more comments or discuss more in detail about that particular work package. So any comment would be useful, positive, negative, or something that you want to add. Okay, I will start with first work package. It's administration. We had it also during first year of Hub, and we want to we don't have it. Okay. Yeah. We don't have presentation, don't worry about it. It's just Tony and me. Yeah, sorry, we are focusing on you, and you focus on us. So it's administration, we are continuing. We will be providing grant writing support, the same like as during the first year. It can be for rapid grants or some other Wikimedia founded grants, or it can be for some local grant that which is available in your country and you want us to help you prepare the project, give comments and basically work with you with project creation. Also, we want to continue with also activity which was part of it during the first year, and that was supporting interregional projects, and that means, for example, a good example is current Swedish Institute grant application that is being prepared, so several CEE countries are participating, and we are also writing parts of that project application and coordinating the process. In this work package, we are also covering some support during live events, so if you need some support with admin, preparation of the program, participants list, or something like that. Okay, I'm moving to second working package. It's microgrants. That one we didn't have during first year, but we kind of identified this as a need, that it would be good if Hub would have resources to be able to give out some smaller amounts of money, similar to Wikimedia's rapid grants, but then with like even lower amounts and faster process of getting answer and being able to implement your project, and we would also be helping you implement it. So we are moving to the next one.
And for the first package is Barbara, who is leading that group. For the second is Michal. So if you want to talk about microgrants, you can find Michal. For administrative incubator, Barbara. Third package is events, and that is a lead from Kirill. Like you know, events is everything connected with learning sessions, CEE meeting. It was organized so far from the or at least facilitated by the CEE Hub. Also, we will continue in the year 2 with campaigns and tools. You can talk with me and Djerđe about that. In that group about campaigns we have done like with Wikilove Third mostly. We supported that campaign in our region, and about tools, it is like area that we want to promote more in the second year. So it can be a very viable ideas and suggestions if you have for this year 2.
Okay, then we had during the first year support related to communication. We are continuing with that. As you know, we started with, it was discontinued, so we started again. We have CEE newsletter now. We plan to continue. We have online catch-up sessions bi-monthly with topics of interest. We have every month open office hours where you can reach us. And basically we want to focus now in this communication part more on organizing also some sessions related for board members and employees, exchange of experiences and knowledge exchange, and we want to add a bit more social channels information. And we will continue, obviously, administrating all mailing lists that we also have as during the year one. And youth group, okay, that's something new. The same. And who is responsible for? Sorry.
Tony and Anton.
Tony and Anton.
About communication.
Communication. It's Tony and Anton, so you can find them. And then youth group. Clara is the person who will be leading this small working group. Okay, so as you maybe heard, during this year we started working with a group of young people. We have currently 15 people who registered for youth group. It's age until 26. What we plan is to have regular meetings with them, provide support to them, but it will depend what kind of support it will be. It will depend on them because they are steering the direction. We are just moderating and providing support. We will have one meeting in person with them in Prague, so we plan to do some real planning. But if you have some ideas how to do that more efficiently, please comment.
And also in the year two planning, it is a vital part will be community building. We have our researcher Violeta in the back. She will lead along with Wojciech the group. This community building will be based on the research that it will be done during this year and the next year. Based on that research, it is possible, like if we're funded, of course. So we will focus on building capacities on the smaller communities in our region. That will be maybe 2 or 3 communities that will be supported during year 2.
And that one is also connected with employing a new person who would be then doing this concrete work.
Yes. So, and the last topic is governance. Yeah, like you know, it's we already discussed governance topics with mostly all of you in this room. Personally, where we discuss about possible models. And this topic will be explored with Kabi and Philip. This is still work in progress. These models and how to be defined the governance of the CEE Hub in the future. Maybe we can a presentation with the KPIs to be open. This you can see just yeah. So you will see this is some metrics connected with these areas that we will talk in the work groups. And
we basically try to define when we are telling we will provide support with grant writing. We said so it will be minimum 3 individuals or communities supported. So we defined some at least minimal outcomes that we expect.
And you can during the opening you can choose whatever group you want to start. And Mikola, yes.
Oh, okay, so we will start now, and then basically each 10 minutes Mikola will give us a sign, so you can switch to other group, or you can stay in that one if you have a lot to discuss.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the groups are moving, not the facilitators, right?
Yes.
Yes, people are moving, and we are at the one spot. Stations are determined. Okay. Ja ću tu onda biti.
Možeš im reći, da. Ali ne možeš popet.
Da. I'm not ready because I have a computer there, so I can't do that. I don't think I have a
Ili... Čekaj, Barbara. Opet jer ti je ima laptopa, ja ne to pa da, ukoliko se ovo, kako da se kaže. I ukoliko možeš pustiti kod tvojeg mobitela, jer ti...
Što da napravim?
Ili imaš tvoj mobitel, tvoj mobitel ima internet.
To ja mogu pisati na internet kao zgodno.
Nije straight to Wikimedia.
Ne li imaš... Možeš hotspot pustiti, pa možeš imati neke moje laptop.
Let's start.
Yes, wait.
So I need 10 minutes to go. I'm going to show you.
Just a second, Jan, so I just try to make it possible for this.
Jer neće, evo, vidiš, ispirano.
Oni, ja uzimam ovo, niko to neće gledati, znači nek Klara to otvori sama sebi. Meni treba isto koji drugima i briga. Okay, I'm going there and I have to open my Etherpad. Okay. Oh no. No, I'm looking for myself. Everyone is making notes for themselves. So I should be making for administration if someone comes to me. If I have internet. It's not like in this one, the other room had it and it was good.
Also not there.
It's Michal. Like, we have to call him out.
Okay.
Okay, people. Hello. So we are coming back now, and each group should have, well, we know who are representatives of each group, and they can come here and, or they can remain standing where they are, but they should stand and then present what was talked about, and if there were some interesting suggestions to add. I was the first one. And we in admin part, and we basically agreed how this concept of working on grants and regional grants is a good one. And regarding campaigns, only comment was that the focus in the area on LGBT and Roma is like really low. So if we as the hub could coordinate something regional on these two topics, would be useful. So we'll put that on our agenda. So the second topic was microgrants, and Michal was Michal? Yeah.
I can be here already. Microgrants proved to be popular, so there was obviously a need for them for a very wide number of activities, from the swag, translations, refreshments, even subscriptions, materials, and so forth, reading books and everything. We were discussing firstly who would be eligible, and those are basically individuals and small groups probably not organized in the region. We were discussing if the people from the larger countries or better structured countries should be allowed to apply for the CEE basically funding. We figured out that rather yes, because basically the people should not be forced to go only at one channel versus the chapter or something like that. Even though sometimes some redirection to another chapter basically to process the purchases and everything can be very beneficial. So we don't need to do everything basically from the CEE Hub itself. We discussed the amount of money. First the threshold. $500 is fine. Maybe it would be better to have up to $1,000. We are also discussing the minimum threshold, because probably it would not be great if people apply for $1 or $10, because it costs us too high, so $50 or maybe something like a 10% basically of the maximum threshold seems to be some fine balance. So this is still worth it to apply to process, just not to go with a really petty money because it doesn't make sense. Of course, the process itself, it needs to be really simple, it needs to be really fast. I know in Wikimedia Poland, it's basically a couple of days to get the decision, shit like that. Everyone loves that there is no flux in this thing, which is great because flux is cumbersome, and also flux is secretive. You cannot basically learn on each other, so actually it's not that. It's not a great thing. What else? Because the micro grants are there, probably there will be more micro grants in the future. We will considering basically overlapping things. So once again, probably you can choose basically if you want to be funded by this entity or that entity, but we should avoid the double funding. So basically, just make clear that basically they don't get funds from many resources basically to compile something larger. The same would be basically with us, so they don't cut the elephant. So basically, they will take 500 for this, for that, and basically fund something larger. We would need to basically say no. It was a little bit unclear how much grants we can process and how much money we can spend, because it's very much in the budget. Probably there will be some limitations for that, and so basically we'll see how it goes. Run out with levels. We have who's granting these grants? That was the question. And this is not the answer. Is it basically all the CEE stuff?
We should have if we get this approved as a package, we should have process of how you can apply and how you can get funded. So we should be running it. CEE Hub stuff.
Yes. Some challenges were identified, like sending funds to certain countries. It can be circumvented probably with the buying proper service and materials. So the best practice on Wikimedia Poland is basically buy as much by yourself as you can, instead of basically sending you the money. It's much better because of many reasons. It simplifies also your accounting, but also it makes it a little bit burden for people. Whereas they receive a group and they pay for it and send back basically invoices and so forth, so it's much better. One huge problem, how to hold people accountable for the money that they get. And probably not very much can be done with it. One benefit is that this is still a very small money. Probably what can be done is the blacklist. It needs to be done anyway, because basically some people are not funded or are defunded basically the movement and probably for very good reasons. So we should probably take the blacklists from Wikimedia Foundation, the entities, and basically share these blacklists. So there is, for instance, a one-on-one blacklist. So because some people should not get funding anyway because there's a better effort. And we should be pretty observant with what they do basically with these grants and how they report it. Yeah, and the general comment basically that the $500 is a very different figure in different countries.
Yes. Thank you, Michal. And now we have Kirill and events.
Can you start?
Okay, so can see you.
It might go out again, like the
goals?
Yeah, it's
It's showing up now. We only have 10 minutes left, so please keep it.
it has to be concise.
We discussed two general types.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah, you can read it. So yeah,
You can just comment.
We talked about two general types of events. The first group is events organized by the CEE Hub, and the second one is events supported by the CEE Hub but organized by the communities. Then we discussed different kind of individual events that might take place in the CEE region. Some of them may be satellite events of Wikimedia, but some of them may be also organized in the long run on a recurrent basis. We talked about a potential youth WikiCamp, which could take place in Armenia because they have a lot of experience in organizing educational camps. This could focus on the members of the youth group. Then we also discussed about small events organized in underrepresented communities, like for example Lithuania, which have never hosted international events. There are also some ideas about knowledge and sharing workshops, thematic events focusing on some concrete topics like editing Wikipedia or Wikidata or conflict resolution or governance. We also talked about potential board trainings about future board members across the affiliates in the CEE region, at which the most developed affiliates could share their experiences in order to teach the future board members better. Then I think it's very important to mention that we discussed how the CEE Hub should be involved in organizing Wikimedia 2024, which is a highly relevant question. And we identified two ways of its involvement. The first one is that the CEE Hub should onboard members on the committees for Wikimedia, like the program and the scholarship committee. That's the first thing. And the second thing is that the CEE Hub should be like should act as an advisory body to make a clear difference between Wikimedia 2024 and the CEE meeting 2024, and to explain why both conferences are necessary and would provide value added. Regarding the system that the CEE Hub can provide to support communities in organizing local or small-scale events, we discussed that the CEE Hub can help them with preparing the project proposal, which includes identifying smart metrics and also preparing the budget. And the second thing is with the communication. The CEE Hub can help to communicate with communities in order to identify their needs and to advise how to shape the conference program so that it meets the needs and expectations of the potential participants. And the two main caveats, the first one is that some events may be very expensive to justify the outcomes, and the second one is that people usually don't want to participate in virtual events and they prefer to do it in person.
And now we have Tonchi and Gerge, campaigns and tools.
Yeah, for campaigns, one of the things we have discussed is how we can have the pain points of existing campaigns. One of them is CEE Spring coming out of steam and then having lower and lower participation and needing some sort of innovation, maybe including more projects and not just Wikipedia, maybe figuring out how to make it easier to find sources, which can be hard for small languages, not only the name of the article is available, maybe making the evaluation process easier, because currently it can be a big burden for the communities. We talked more generally about how to include small communities in all the campaigns, like how Wikilabs Anonymous and Wikilabs Earth could be made more wide in the CEE region, how the CEE Hub could provide initiative, and how these campaigns are usually easy to scale. You just need to have the communication and the jury. We talked about how Wikiscience competition has a lot of potential, but just one organizer who has limited capacity, so it's hard to extend to other countries because of that. We talked about what potential new campaigns could make sense for the region, like maybe have something for young editors specifically, or have an existing campaign involve young editors that are like CEE thing in schools, for example. We talked about how the diverse folklore of the CEE region is an opportunity for some sort of campaign, like some sort of mix of Wikilabs local heritage and Wikilabs folklore, for example. We talked about the Romani community, which is dispersed in lots of different CEE countries and doesn't really currently have a campaign that could be about the Romani community or in the Romanian language on the Romanian Wikipedias. We talked about Wikimedia in Cyprus and how Wiki can each other related campaigns Wiki can expand from that. And also we talked about how information about campaigns is an unsolved problem. Like it's not that easy to find out who is doing what in the region, and some sort of catalog of that would be nice. For tools, we have a similar discussion about organizing tools, and it's hard to find out what tools exist. It would be nice to have a catalog of tools. It would be nice to have tool recommendations for the things, like campaigns, for example, that are happening in the CEE region. And we talked about toolkits. Like there are tools which are very useful but little known, like for example RiskTab for transcribing events. And also about how tools could be created or improved, even if the CEE Hub is not going to have really dedicated resources for this. Many groups have different tooling for Wikilabs amendments, for example, but not capacity on their own to turn that into a generic tool. So how can we make a database of tool needs and identify the shared needs between different groups, and then help those groups pool resources or match needs with available volunteer capacity across different countries. Relatedly, it would be nice to have a system for making tool requests. Talk about how it could help with tool translation, localization, documentation, or connecting technical volunteers to the region, and with facilitating feedback from communities about new tools. And there were two topics which are not really related to campaigns and tools. One of them is the governance topic, is how the hub could have to onboard people who are new to the movement, and maybe collaborate on the Wikimedia Foundation on that, because the Wikimedia Foundation has onboarding for the global movement, but cannot do it effectively for the CEE region. We could have that, and we had a community building discussion on how the processes that we could typically use, like edition process, are not documented in a wiki independent way. So for small wikis, it's hard to find out and think about processes that could be useful for them.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Gerge. Yes. We have 2 minutes left, but we have to continue with communication. So Tony, Anton.
Okay.
And just like...
2 sentences.
No, so just like something new, if there was something new mentioned that we should do.
Really quickly, we discussed 4 topics. The first is onboarding / training, and the idea is that onboarding for board members, staff members is really important, and what's important is organizing networking possibilities, so not only like learning stuff, but getting a structured way to meet new people, and there is much more stuff in the research project, and if you're interested. Then the second topic, communication channels people use for the hub. The ideas are that general Telegram group is a good channel to keep people actually read it, but the most important communications way is one-on-one conversations with Barbara and Tony. For some communities it's the only way to get information, obviously resource intensive, but
why don't you open the article that people can read it?
Then the third topic we talked about is over communication, how we can make sure that we are not bombarding and overwhelming people with information. And here one helpful idea was that we can have some people make a point of suggesting specific information to specific people, such as forwarding specific newsletter articles to specific people who would be interested. And then the last topic was multilingualism, and basically it's really important to remember that many people don't speak English, and we should think about how we can support other languages and more specific ideas again is an objective.
Thank you, Anton.
We're kind of out of time now, so.
So if you want to leave, you can write me a minute. So we focused on different things. We have very, because we want to have fun, we have a really fun presentation as well. But as like we had some principles, goals, methods, and possible activities that we could be focused on with our youth group. Well-being and having fun and define boundaries for like safe participant sake of the young people. It's essential. From goals, we would like to have one person from the community. This one suggestion for next year: bring more girls, women, and define long-term results. Methods, it's something that you can read on the screen. And from possible activities, there are like great ideas. The participant as young mentors for young newcomers because it's more accessible, or educational project for participants, that young Wikimedians as lecturers or Wiki residents. Skill training, mentoring between participants itself, young international Wiki camp based on like really building practical skills, cooperation with other young groups in the movement, and some participants exchange projects, some like internships in the region, something that maybe other projects as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have 1.5 hours left.
Yes, I know. Community building, like Violetta, why should you want to say something?
Yeah, I'll try to make it brief.
Well,
We thought that the communities that Violetta is working with should have 2 or 3 immediately effective things identified, so like the low-hanging fruit sort of. And we should be able to tell the communities, to give the communities a list of desirable activities that they might do, but it's up to the communities to identify what they actually want to do, so as not to force anything on them. We have discovered in the group that it's absolutely necessary to document whatever the communities are doing for future generations, sort of to speak, and for the knowledge transfer for future activities. And we have identified one more thing, that for communities working or editing under a regime, their diaspora is extremely important. And this is how you do it in 55 seconds.
great, thank you. In terms of governance, like we talked about it and realized it's a complicated thing to talk about, to make it fair and equitable and inclusive. But I think the main takeaway for next year is that we will start the approval and consultation process earlier, so like the communities can take part like in their own time, and we don't do it at the CEE meeting itself, where there's little time and everything's a bit chaotic. So thank you.
Oh, this is how we do it in 15 seconds.
Good. I think we're done. Thank you very much for taking part. Very helpful.
Thank you for joining.